The price of gas is soaring and your wallet is getting more empty by the minute. So what can you do? Well, we're going to discuss that right now because I'm in the same boat as you guys. Here's a couple of tips that you can probably do starting today to make your gas mileage increase and keep your money in your wallet. Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. Rick, the Honest Mechanic, and I decided to make this video real quick because, well, I went up to fill my car and I just noticed that the gas prices are really terrible. And I know that there's a few things out there that we can do to actually make that better for ourselves. So let's start with tip number one. Tip number one is actually, well, pretty simple, and it starts right behind the wheel. Did you know that your driving style can actually negatively affect gas mileage? I know, right? I mean, I didn't think so either, but consider this for a second. If you're an aggressive driver, you're racing from light to light, well, that's going to cost more in gas. That makes total sense to me. So just consider that next time you're sitting at the light, or if you're trying to race to town or you're late for something. It doesn't always make sense to be hard on the gas or hard on the brake. It's going to cost more in maintenance, and it's also going to cost you more in gas. Try and become more of a defensive driver. I think your gas tank will like it as well. So, tip number two, we're still sitting in the car for this tip. Most modern cars now will come with a series of dynamic modes of sorts. Everybody calls them something different. Every manufacturer has their own. But if we look at this example for this particular model, this happens to be a 2020 Tiguan, and we have a couple of modes. We can either drive it in normal mode, sport mode, or eco mode. I use eco mode more than ever because I find it actually in real life, in real scenarios, it has saved us a bunch on fuel, especially on long trips. So I challenge you to try it in your own car. Switch it into eco mode, especially if you're moving on highway speeds. If you're towing, probably not a good idea. If you're in town, again, maybe not going to be as significant of a change, but if you're on somewhat of a longer stretch, try it, you're going to like it. Tip number three. We are now on the outside of the vehicle because we're going to talk about a few things here. Let's talk about wind resistance. Now, this is a Tiguan, like I said, so it's an SUV, you know, kind of bulky compared to some vehicles. Well, if we go right back here to my CLA, a little bit more aerodynamic, and that's what I'm talking about. I want to talk about wind resistance or air resistance. So on an SUV, most will have roof racks. You know, they run alongside each side of the vehicle. These aren't negatively affecting anything when they're set like that. They become a problem when you either have a roof rack going from side to side on either side of the vehicle, or if you're always constantly carrying an empty panel box or a cargo box, whatever you call them, on the roof. If you're not going to be carrying it with anything in it, or if there's no use for it, take it off at the moment. I mean, that's definitely going to be costing you more fuel because that's a lot more wind resistance than if you just drive the vehicle like it sits. Manufacturers are spending more and more time and money in wind tunnels to try and perfect these vehicles to have the least amount of wind resistance. This next tip is going to become a little bit more hands-on, and you're going to have to go buy one of these if you don't have one already. It'd be a very good investment anyways for multiple reasons. You're going to need a tire pressure gauge. This happens to be a digital one. You can find them on Amazon. I'm not sponsored by anybody, but sometimes you can get them in pairs. If you have multiple vehicles, it works out to be really nice. But always check your tire pressures and do it monthly. I mean, some people do it even more often than that. But if your tire pressures are low, kind of like the wind resistance, you're going to get rolling resistance. That low tire is going to take more energy to keep it moving, costing you again more in fuel. So make sure all four tires are properly inflated to the manufacturer's recommendations. Check your owner's manual and make sure that you have proper inflation. I mean, it's simple as that, guys. Buy one of these gauges. Now, if you thought that last tip was a little bit hands-on, we're about to go really hands-on because we're going to go outside and we're going to do something that people tend to forget when it comes to certain vehicles, and that is to clean your mass airflow sensor. Believe it or not, that will actually make a difference. I mean, depending on how long it's been between cleanings, you can see a significant difference in fuel economy. Really important, first of all, if you're not qualified, if you don't feel comfortable doing any type of maintenance on your vehicle, that's perfectly fine. Bring it to a professional and tell them that you maybe want to have it looked at. If you want to try it for yourself and you know a little bit about your vehicle, well, get yourself some sensor safe stuff. Like, I'm not sponsored, this is made by CRC, but it's right on top here, it says it's safe for mass airflow sensors. That's really important, because if you're using something like a parts cleaner, a brake cleaner, it's chlorinated or something like that, you'll end up leaving a residue on those fine filaments, and then those little fine filaments are what's reading the air flow and a few other things, air temperature and all that stuff as it's coming into the engine. If that's being somewhat degraded, well, that's going to cause issues when it comes to runnability and all the rest. So get yourself one of these. We're going to go do it on my wife's Volkswagen right now to show you what it's like. So obviously we're going to be going in here. We're going to look for the hood latch. We're going to pop the hood, make our way to the front, and then we're going to locate the mass airflow sensor. Now, not every vehicle will have a mass airflow sensor. It depends, obviously, on your engine. Now, this one here, it's actually pretty obvious, which is why I chose my wife's car to do this. It's located right here on top, and it's actually pretty easy to gain access to. So, what I'm going to do, there's a couple little hoses here on the air breather. We're going to pinch this one and disconnect it as well, just because we're going to loosen it off. We're going to flip this air box cover up. And last one, there's a lot of screws holding this air box cover. Now, I'm going to lift it up like this, and then in this particular situation, I can actually spray my sensor. I'm going to grab the camera and show you exactly what it looks like. That's how this one is. Now, some other ones, you don't have to go through all this effort. There's sometimes two little screws holding it on top, and you can raise it up, spray it, let it dry, put it back down. But in this case, a little bit more involved, but let's show you what it looks like inside. So there is that sensor, and that sensor is reading a couple of different things as the airflow is going across it, and that's helping the engine and the computer do what they need to do so they run properly at the right fuel mixture ratio. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a spray right across that, all of those little filaments. We're going to let it air dry, and then we're just going to put the cover back down, and that pretty much is it for this one. So again, you don't have to go too crazy with this. Locate the sensor, give it a nice little clean. Now I'm going to let it dry, and as it's drying, I'm going to be able to bolt that down, and then we're good to go. And before you go, I got a bonus tip for you, because you guys are sticking around. While you're in here, if you are doing this type of work and you're looking at your sensor, take a look at your air filter. Now, on this side, this is the upper side of the air filter. It looks, well, let's take a look. Before I even flip it, it looks fantastic. It looks clean. But this side isn't what you need to see. This is the side you want to see. If this side is all dirty, caked with leaves and debris, maybe it's time to change your air filter. And that will also amount to a better fuel economy. So in this case, air filter is in really good condition. Just replaced it not too long ago. But yeah, so that is your bonus tip for today. So that's going to do it for today's video. So hopefully those tips are helpful to you guys that, maybe didn't know a few things, or, just didn't consider some of these as a fuel saving, tip. If you happen to have more tips that we didn't mention in this video, feel free to comment down, put them in there. We're all a community, and that's why I'm making these videos, to help everyone out. So yeah, that'd be awesome to hear what you guys have to say. So again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys all in the next video, and safe driving out there. That'd be awesome because, well, it's a community. We're all here to try and help each other out. So again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching. And we'll see you guys all in the next video.